Down south, we sweat and strain. We were the prisoners of cotton. But when cotton come to Harlem, we boot cotton's butt. Down south, cotton was king. A black man's life meant not a damn thing. So when cotton come to Harlem, we put cotton's boot. We put his boot. Hey, what is cotton doing here? We'll soon make him disappear. Now we don't need him to remind us the bad old days are far behind us.
Oh, man, that is another well-fit theme song that goes right into the movie.
Is that song black enough for you, Griff?
Murray? Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, because we're gonna that's gonna be a running theme throughout this movie and this episode, whether things are black enough for someone else.
Yeah. It's weird because it's one of those things like I can't think of a good example. You don't notice something and then somebody points it out and you notice it everywhere. Because I watched this movie, you dropped the "Is it black enough for you" on me earlier in the week before I saw the movie. Next thing you know, I'm seeing it everywhere. And I was listening to some of the New Hampshire primary stuff. Joe Biden did a little speech. He dropped out and went to South Carolina. And he's doing a speech, and he's like, "I'm going to make America so good for the brown and the black."
What the hell?
That's my Joe Biden accent.
Is that a Delaware accent?
That might be.
I'm never going to Delaware. If that's what they sound like.
So
I can see the Delaware Tweakers, the wrestling tag team, talking like that, but not
Delaware
Joe
Tweakers.
Biden.
God, I forget who they were.
They're the Briscoe brothers.
The Briscoe brothers, yes. The old Delaware Tweakers. But even Joe Biden was using that phrase. He was like, "I bet you guys want a minimum wage hike because brown and black people."
You notice he was also wearing a glittery black cape as well.
He was wearing that cape, man. It's beautiful.
He was channeling Deke O'Malley.
Yeah.
Except Deke O'Malley made sense when he talked. I don't know what the hell Biden's saying.
The other thing he had on, and I'm a little upset about this because I'm taking this as my new look. He had a sequined eye patch on.
Wow.
Channeling Desmond.
And then he says he's going to take Trump to the bank.
Yeah.
The blood bank.
But yeah, Biden was dropping some hard, is that black enough for you?
Maybe you should say, take that to the bank. Because it worked wonders for that guy from Hard to Kill.
It really did. And I mean, Biden's about as plausible as that guy, so that works for me. But Murray, cotton comes to Harlem. Let's just go ahead and break all the rules and give it a grade right away. What grade do you give this movie?
A++.
Fuck. I'm going Mario Kart, and I'm giving it a triple star.
I guess we're doing totally different grading things. I was watching it, and I couldn't help but notice, Griff, we are the Coffin, Ed Johnson, and Gravedigger Jones of podcasts. I was like, this is us in a movie.
Yeah.
I'm Coffin, of course, irritated by everything.
Yes.
Ready to shoot a motherfucker at the drop of a hat. Slap a bitch in a minute. Some say just for fun.
Yeah.
And Griff's like always the chill ones, like got the little like zingers he throws out there.
You're right. No, I didn't realize that, but you are dead on.
Right.
Man, I love that comparison.
So we really responded to this movie because we related to it. It was black enough for us.
It really was black enough for us. It was so good. It tells a good story. It tells it far better than Friday Foster did. It's not as convoluted. There's a lot to it.
We didn't need a half hour explaining why they're called Gravedigger and Coffin Ed. It was just we just accepted it. We said, I guess they kill people.
They didn't even do like the normal Seagal thing where somebody goes, "Oh shit, that's Gravedigger." They call him that because one time when he was at the grave, he dug a grave.
He digs graves.
There was nothing like that. We just knew they were awesome because their on-screen presence was awesome. I loved it. This might also be the first. I don't think it is, but we also have not researched it too hard. But this might be the first movie he did with a black director. Or at least blaxploitation movie.
Yeah, and writer, Ozzie Davis.
Yeah.
Who, you've seen Bubba Hotep, right?
No, I don't think so.
Well, our audience would probably know him best from Bubba Hotep. He was the black guy who thought he was John F. Kennedy. That was Ozzie Davis.
Okay.
So he's an actor. Actually, I think he's more known as an actor, more of a theater actor, I believe. But yeah, this was. I believe these were books.
Yes.
Yeah. Which I'd like to read because I really enjoyed the two characters of Coffin Ed.
I know. I'm really
Gravedigger.
interested, in how they play out in a novel form. So I'll keep an eye out for that. I like to go to those secondhand bookstores, so maybe I'll find it there.
When I'm looking for to finish my gore library, I'll keep an eye out for that too.
Yeah, of course. You got to go to Ferndale. That's where I found a huge stack of them.
Is it the one on 9 Mile and Woodward?
I think so.
Bookstore? Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I can't remember exactly where it was. I get kind of lost in Ferndale.
Right now, people are riveted by this conversation about Ferndale City.
Yeah.
They don't have no idea.
Exactly.
So fuck it. We got a lot to unpack. So we're just gonna go straight to the fucking trailer.
Yeah.
Griff. Before there was Tango and Cash. Before there was Riggs and Murtaugh. Fuck! Before there was even Starsky and Hutch, there was Coffin Ed and Gravedigger. And they're going to bury some motherfuckers when Cotton comes to Harlem.
Introducing two cops only a mother could love. Meet Coffin Ed Johnson and Gravedigger Jones, two of New York's finest. Two cops who take charge when an $87,000 bale of cotton comes to Harlem.
Tell me something, will you? What's the bale of cotton doing in Harlem?
A bale of cotton?
Bale of cotton.
No, what would a bale of cotton be doing in Harlem?
Down south, cotton was king.
Cotton comes to Harlem. It's cops and robbers with a shade of difference.
See any cotton around here lately?
A bale of cotton, sure.
Where is it now?
Did you turn Japanese? Huh? Wait, come on, you know the position. Come on.
Damn it.
Another fine mess you got us into.
I got us into. Shut up and shoot.
Godfrey Cambridge is Gravedigger Jones. Raymond St. Jock is Coffin Ed Johnson. Calvin Lockhart.
Well, if it ain't King Kong and Frankenstein. Hey, what kind of talk is that, soul brother? Don't you know that black is beautiful?
They put a personal touch on everything they handle.
You have to play with that thing. I'm insecure, Captain.
They're big, they're cool, they're beautiful.
Where is that bale of cotton?
There ain't no such thing as a bale of cotton in Harlem.
Is that black enough for you?
I finally found that bale of cotton. One thing's for sure. It ain't drugstore cotton.
This is genuine Mississippi cotton.
Don't you know if cotton come to Harlem? Come on, let's boot cotton's bud. Let's boot his bud. I said if cotton come to Harlem, I think I'm gonna get me a stick and I'm gonna kick cotton in the butt.
Coffin Ed Johnson and Gravedigger Jones, two cops only a mother could love.
All right, Murray, this is dense. This is the... I'm trying to think of a long book, and none are coming to my brain right now. This
War and Peace.
this
Crime
is,
and Punishment.
This is a War and Peace.
The Bible.
Here, all right? I mean, we're gonna have to do our best to keep this under 9 hours. So that's why
I'm probably going to do a lot of sidebars on this too. There's a lot of going on. There's a lot of great characters.
I mean,
there's a characters in this movie. It's 5 minutes and he steals the show.
Yeah, we were just talking about how I don't know why we're doing this now, but there's a chase scene. There's all this other side shit going on that's awesome and crazy, and it just works. Everything works. Great director. So, Murray, let's open this movie. What are we going to open with?
A song about being black as I needed to be. That's what the song was about.
Yeah, you got to be black.
I don't know. Maybe we'll end this show with that song.
Yeah, I think we have to. Yeah, that's a good call.
And we see it's like a Rolls Royce just driving down the streets of Harlem with a gold painted armored truck behind it.
Very tasteful.
And we see this rally, and we're like, "What's going on?"
Yeah.
Open up the door, and our fucking man Deke O'Malley comes out.
We both thought, or I don't know if we agreed on this, but as soon as that door swung open, I was like, "There's Cotton."
Yeah, I thought Cotton was a person too.
Yeah.
I hate to admit it because we pride ourselves on having our blaxploitation credentials. The first time I seen this movie was like a few weeks ago, and I was like, Griff, we have to do this for the episode.
So good. You were so right.
And so yeah, I'm glad I saw it finally because I'm not kidding. I think Coffin Ed, Gravedigger are my favorite cop pair of all time.
I agree. 100%.
I want to see more movies. Well, it's too late now. They're fucking dead.
Yeah.
But I want to see more movies with these
100%. They play a very noir role in this, which made it very fun for me. Like, it reminds me a lot of the Cops and the Venture Brothers, the kind of noir detectives that are in that as well, where they're just snappy one-liners all back and forth and very direct.
That's what Gravedigger, that's what he's just there for, to just put those zingers out there.
Yeah. In a very deadpan way. It's beautiful.
Right. Well, you notice that was Ford Malott from Friday Foster, the gay guy.
Yeah.
And then I guess Coffin played by, what was his name? It was something St. Jock. And I was thinking, what a coincidence, because that was like my porn star name was Raymond St. Jock. That was my porn star name back in the day. And it's a coincidence that I was an actor.
That was your porn star name back in the day.
Yeah, Raymond St. Jock.
Oh, mine was the Millennium Dong.
Mine's a little better.
Yeah.
I mean, I was more of a character actor, porn actor. Like, I wasn't known for my length, for my girth, but I was known for my way to just... People have told me, I totally believe you could fix a TV. I totally believe you know how to clean a pool out properly. And I said thank you because I get like method about it. Like I had to play like a pool boy, and I for like a week I just worked at a pool boy place to learn like how to hold the net properly. I took it seriously, man.
Well, I hate to admit it, but I have seen some of your work because once I found out who you were, I did a Google search because everything on TV tells me be afraid of every single human being you meet and do extensive research on them. Make sure, A, they're not a child rapist.
You don't want to get catfished.
You don't want to get catfished.
I don't know what that means. I know that's the word they use.
Really? You don't know what that means?
I mean, I kind of know what
We
it
are
means.
so off the track here.
Yeah.
But I looked it up. You really did look like a pool cleaner.
Yeah, I know.
All right.
Thanks. Thank you.
Yeah.
I've got probably 5 AVN awards, just for my acting. I was horrible at fucking, but I was great at acting.
So we got.
They actually sometimes would have to use Ron Jeremy as like a double for me.
So we got Deke coming to town, and Deke's here. He is the Deke O'Malley, and he's the greatest. Was he a reverend? Pastor?
Yes, he was a pastor.
Pastor.
I don't know. Did he just get out of jail or this is?
No. He's traveling. He's doing the circuit. He's doing the circuit. He just came from Detroit, L.A., Philadelphia. That's the big three.
Yeah, that's what we say. We always say the big three: L.A., Philadelphia, Detroit. And he comes out in this most splendiferous black glittery Dracula cape.
If you're trying to be a pastor, what better wardrobe to wear than a black and red sequined cape?
It's a Dracula cape.
It's a Dracula.
And it's funny. I'm going to go off on another tangent because when I was watching it, I had this flashback. You're too young to remember this, but Channel 62, which is our CBS affiliate.
I watched 62 the other day. Come on.
But no. In the 80s, 62 was a UHF station.
Oh, I remember UHF.
Yeah, so it was a privately owned station by R.J. Watkins, who was, as I believe, I'm pretty sure he was the first black man in America to own a television station.
Holy shit.
Definitely in Michigan.
They used to play Tiger games on UHF.
Okay. And so he had a show called, it was called The Scene. It was like a Detroit version of Soul Train.
Mm-hmm.
And later on, like to like the early 90s, like 92, 93, they switched over. He sold it to CBS because Fox had bought Channel 2, because Channel 2 used to always be CBS.
Oh, really? Okay.
And so, but he had the show called The New Dance Show, and there was this dancer on here. I don't know why, because I never watched the show regularly, so why would I be watching a dance show? But me and my friend were watching, because there's this guy. He had to be in his 50s. Okay, this is the show. All the kids are it's kids late teens, early 20s. It's like a dance show.
Yeah.
He would wear a cape, a Dracula cape.
Oh my God.
And a tuxedo. He would dress like a vampire. I'm not even kidding. He would have a bad wig he would have on, and he would have some fucking wraparound shades on.
Oh man.
And he youngest had to be in his 50s. He could have been 60. And he would do.
He's probably actually 100.
His
but
name,
all that vampire blood.
Yeah. His name was JB, which I'm guessing was short for James Brown, because when they would do the line, the dance line, he would do like. I got to stand up, show you. He would do like the shimmy, go down like that.
Yes.
It's just, sorry for like taking us out of the movie, but it was so. I hope that's on YouTube, because you got to see JB.
We'll have to look it up later, and you can post it on Twitter.
He was pretty amazing, but not as amazing as Deke O'Malley.
So Deke, of course, he's parting the crowd. Like Moses, the crowd just parts for him, actually. They all want to touch him, but they're all so in awe of him.
Right.
His presence is powerful.
He's like the 1970s Obama.
Yeah, he gets up on that stage. You're right about the jail thing, though. He had been in prison or
Probably
jail. I forget which one. But he gets up there and he starts talking about how he has been in the white man's prison, and then he was on his hands and knees cleaning the white man's toilet. Is that black enough for you? I don't know why he had to bring it. I don't know.
He's like, but no longer, because I have a plan, brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
I bought this ship, and we're all going back to Africa.
Yeah, Jesus spoke to him and said, you need to be my Noah. Noah.
Yes.
I'm so good at the Bible.
And so he's like, and for the cheap price of $100,
at least,
you can get a ride and go back to Africa with me.
Everybody in the crowd freaks the fuck out. They all want
everybody but two gentlemen freak the fuck out.
Yeah, two very suspicious looking gentlemen. Oh wait, there are fucking heroes.
Coffin and Gravedigger. And as always like me, Coffin's got a scowl on his face, disgusted. And as always, Gravedigger's just fucking chill.
Chill as shit. They're surveying the scene. They're trying to make sure everything's cool.
Because they know what Deke's really about. They see through this bullshit.
Oh, they absolutely do. And they're questioning how he even got the permits to have this affair, because they're like, governor doesn't give permits out to anybody, especially not a black man.
And while they're doing it, they catch a pickpocket. They're on top of their job.
Yep.
They're crowd control, and they're catching criminals. Early Riser was the name of the pickpocket.
Early Riser. Every criminal in this movie, like low-budget criminal, has a fucking cool as shit name.
Well, yeah, you always got to have a street name.
Yeah.
And then we notice across the street another group that's not too happy with Deke O'Malley.
Are they? Or are they just...
No, they don't like him because... They know he's full of shit too.
Okay,
and
okay.
so because they actually care about black people, and
But you can tell these guys are a little rougher. Like they're willing to throw some punches, so they look upset when they're crossing the road. But Coffin and Dig, they walk over and meet them on the other side of the road, and they're just like, "Where are you going? Back to Africa?" Think not.
And they're like, "The only thing I hate more than hunky white pig is a black person." Pig. And then Gravedigger, he just fucking lets it roll off. You drop the N-bomb on most black people, that's fighting words. They're going to fuck you up. Gravedigger just lets it roll off his back and goes, "Hey, brother, don't you know black is beautiful?" And these guys, they're obviously supposed to be like the Black Panthers, but they're not. They're not wearing, they're like militant Black Power type guys. And they're like, fuck you. They're ready to just bust heads.
Yeah.
And then Grave and Coffin grab one of them and just like throw them up. It's got that classic Cannon movie like dummy they throw up in the air.
It's so weird.
And it's just this guy he's like shot out of a cannon. He's like flies 20 feet in the air.
Oh my god! And if anybody else watches A&W like me and Murray do. They do these horrible backflips off the ring into the
Yeah, we're talking about professional wrestling.
outside ring now, and constantly you have 4 people standing there for no pragmatic purpose except to catch the person, and so all of the I guess we're just gonna call them militiamen, Black Panther
militants is what they were called in the movie.
So the militants are all just standing there waiting to catch the guy. It makes sense in this case, but you know what? You said it best, young bucks. They can learn a thing or two.
Yeah, you can learn how to sell from these guys, bucks. And I know they listen, so.
I know they listen. Cut it out with the super kicks, guys. It's fucking boring.
Right.
Every week with the super kicks.
So Deke finishes his speech. Everyone's just lining up to give their money to him, including the lovable Uncle Bud, played by Red Fox, of course.
Which
Fred
is-
Sanford from Sanford and Son.
Which is interesting because there's so many references to foxes in this movie. You notice that was Grave and Coffin's constant like code word were foxes.
Well, yeah, they're talking about Brer Fox and like from Song of the South.
Yeah.
Shit.
White fox, black fox.
And he's so damn lovable. He's like, sister, he's checking out the tits of this chick, first of all. But he's like, all I have is $20. That's all I can. And they're like, sorry, sir, it's $100.
He lays out 19 bills and then 4 quart. I was like, usually when you're like trying to show you're poor, you roll out more change. But he's like 19 crisp bills straight from the ATM and then 4 quarters.
And he's like, come on, you get a little old man, leave it. And then Deke sees it, and he's a con man.
He's got that huge fucking heart.
No, he's a con man.
He's got a huge heart.
And he's just like, brother, I'll take your $20. You get, and they're handing out these little slips of paper that's like basically their ticket.
They're honor roll certificates from grade school.
Yeah,
except
they
they
are.
say Black Boat to Arkansas.
Black Beauty.
Black Beauty. Excuse me.
That's what the boat is
wow.
called. Black
Arkansas.
Beauty. No, that's not.
I don't even know where these words.
I don't
came
know
from.
how they're even going to get to Arkansas because it's a landlocked state. But no, they're going to Africa. Get with the
my
picture.
God.
Is Arkansas black enough for you?
Oh no.
So everything's fine. We're like, okay, and then all of a sudden, some cracker shows up, and we're like, we know there's going to be trouble.
Well, yeah, of course it's going to be.
And he's like, I work at the assistant DAs.
The assistant to the assistant DA?
Yes, the assistant administrator of the interior of the DA.
Thank you.
And he's like, there's some discrepancies. I need to talk to you, take you downtown.
Well, of course I'm going to go down. Everybody, please, do not. The whole crowd is booing him because
they're ready to just murder this white guy.
Yeah, they don't want this G-man coming in, ruining their arc back to Africa. And, just when things are looking hairy, Coffin and Gravedigger, they're getting ready to step in and be like, let's calm the situation.
I don't know about Coffin is. He immediately pulls a gun out. He's just ready to fucking murder. At all times.
The best way to calm a crowd is either to throw chickens into it
or just wave a gun in people's faces.
or pistol whip somebody.
Yeah.
I imagine. But instead, we get a gold truck that comes through.
No, the gold truck is there. That's Deke's.
Oh,
we get a meat wagon.
Meat wagon, yeah.
Which is basically looks like the same truck except it's not painted gold.
Yes.
And then all these masked guys come. They're completely covered. You can't see what they look like. What
they
color
look like they
are,
came from that rap
anything.
movie we watched.
Oh yeah, Night of Terror.
Night of Terror.
Great episode. And they pull out machine guns and start firing. They fucking almost hit Deke. This guy John, his right hand man, dives in front of them, takes the bullet.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I didn't even realize that was happening.
And then they grab Deke, and like the Deke's people, like grab him, take him off the stage.
Yeah.
The masked men bust into the armor car, take something out of it, get in, and then start running.
Oh shit! So Murray, regrettably, it's car chase scene time.
Yeah, it's a triple chase because we get the meat wagon, we get the armored car driven by Deke, Deke ain't driving, but he's in it with one of his cronies, and then Coffin and Gravedigger.
Yeah. So we're watching them chase each other through town. It was kind of weird because like Deke is not, Deke's driver's not allowing them to pass. So that was kind of weird.
Well, because he doesn't want them getting the money.
Oh, okay, that's and they probably didn't realize there were police or something.
No, I think they know that Coffin and them are onto them.
Okay.
So they're like, I don't know why they're crazy enough. If they know that, and they know Coffin will shoot a motherfucker for just looking at him the wrong way. Yeah. I don't know why they're trying to antagonize him by ramming their car into him. We're 15 minutes, not even, we're like 10 minutes in the movie, and I've already established that about Coffin and Gravedigger, and yet these guys are fucking with him, so I was like, oh, well, clearly Deke's working with them. They want to get the money back, because if Coffin and Gravedigger catch them, it's going to be confiscated, and then they're not going to be able to get their money.
That makes some sense. Yeah. So while this whole chase scene's going on, we have all these crazy scenes happening.
I think Ozzie Davis is from the same school of car chases we are, where he's like, I got to spice this shit up, because
there's no point in just having tires screeching.
The most amazing thing is we're in New York City and there's no traffic. That was the most amazing thing.
Yeah, no one had a car. But we get the only scene that really comes to mind right now for me is you get a gentleman who's looking to buy some furs from a kindly young tailor.
Yeah, the guy's selling mink coats on a street corner.
He's got
like a hanger.
And he's got like a magnet or
it's like an old Jewish guy.
Yeah, he's got the glass and the tape around his neck.
It's this lovely lady. We're talking about gentlemen. This lovely lady is looking at the wares. And the mink seller, I don't know what they're called, furriers.
Yeah, furrier.
He's distracted by the car chase.
Yeah.
And as he turns around, the lady rips off the wig. It's fucking RuPaul, guys. And he grabs the fucking mink and takes the fuck off.
Then around the corner, like, this is kind of cool how they did this, because it was like you see this scene and then you see the cars break through the scene and how everyone reacts to it. So then we go around another corner and we watch another scene of a gentleman who looks
addicted to drugs.
Not the drug man.
Okay.
I'm talking about the lady man.
Okay.
And he sees a couple of good-looking, three good-looking ladies, and he's like, I have the agility and the endurance to take all these ladies to Pleasure Town tonight.
He's like, I'm going to Me Too the fuck out of these ladies.
He's like, I've been watching Tim Murray, Ramon the Pool Man's porn tapes all day. I know.
You have been watching my work. My character's his name was Ramon.
Well, you said that.
No, I didn't. I never said Ramon.
Yeah, you did.
No, I did not. I did not. Check the tapes. Anyway, you're losing it because I didn't say that. I said Ron Jeremy played me. The listeners know I'm right. So, yeah, he's checking out. He's macking on, as the kids say, these three lovely young ladies. They're having none of it. They're just ignoring the shit. Meanwhile, there's a gunfight going on. Because, like, fucking Coffin's like, I got to shoot. It's been, like, 5 hours since I've shot this gun off. That's been 5 minutes because he shot the gun off at the fucking rally.
Yeah.
And so he starts fucking shooting. And it's like the guy, he's so hung up on these ladies, he doesn't notice bullets are flying right past him.
The bullets, he gets backed up to a telephone pole, and the bullets are taking his hat off and like doing the cartoon outline of his body. And he just doesn't care. He's still just like, ladies, come on, Ramon, I got the moves, I got the elbow, I got the perfect punch.
And these ladies are so fine that they even distracted Gravedigger because he runs into a watermelon cart that just has to be crossed.
You're going to skip over your drug guy?
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Okay.
Guy who's high on weed that almost gets run over.
Yeah. So
they hit a watermelon cart, and black guy wrote and directed this, people, so this isn't racist. And so all it is now is Deke chasing the meat wagon.
Yeah. And they are just fucking taking corners at 80 miles an hour, and their meat wagon and a gold armor vehicle, whatever the fuck it was supposed to be.
Well, while that's going on, though, we get a nice scene of a painter painting. We meet Lowboy and our man Early Riser from earlier in the movie, the pickpocket. Yeah. Lowboy is his what's the name for like a straight man in like the con game? I can't remember.
I don't know.
But he's trying to distract this little old lady by painting a picture. He's like, no, don't look.
Yeah, the audio lip sync for this is really bad.
Yeah, and Early Riser, meanwhile, is cutting, because apparently this lady, she's from Harlem. She knows, got to hide your fucking purse.
Yeah.
So she's got her purse like in her underwear. I don't know, it's like up under her dress.
She had like a gun strap for like around her thigh, but it had her like purse in it. Or wallet.
So Early Riser, he's like snipping her dress away, and then fucking Lowboy is like distracting her. And she notices because the car is run by.
Yeah.
She looks back and she notices it. She like beats the guy over the head with a purse.
Yeah.
Takes off. While that's happening, the meat wagon opens up and a bale of cotton just flies out the back of the meat wagon.
Yeah. Takes that corner real fast, and then fucking
so fast it hits Early Riser.
Early Riser runs out on the road because he's running away from the old lady because he's got the wallet.
Right.
And yeah, he gets hit and
flies 5,000 feet.
Similar to our Milton earlier, he just goes
hits a trampoline.
The best part is later on, Lowboy even mentions, my boy flew 4,000 feet into the air and there was no one there. Where were the Young Bucks? Where was Omega?
Yeah, there's nobody milling around. Like
just happened to be standing around to catch him. So yeah, fucking, it's looking grim. It's looking grim for Early Riser. He didn't rise. Early Bird got struck by a vehicle today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the meat truck loses control, crashes. The fucking armored car rams right into it.
Yeah.
And I guess everybody, the masked men get away.
Yeah.
And finally, I guess, what happens?
Well, we get Deke's van that like explodes.
Okay.
And that's when we finally just cut over. We just after we see the cotton go, we see early riser get struck by the vehicle.
Yeah, so the boys, they crashed their car, so they're like, well, okay, we're not going to catch Deke. Where's he going to be at? Mm-hmm. Well, I know this chick he fucks on the side.
Oh my God.
Iris, let's go check her out.
Yep.
So they show up at her apartment, just barge right the fuck in.
Yeah, they don't even knock 3 times.
She's wearing some crazy chainmail like dress.
She's got some kind of Egyptian look going on here. She's got like the.
I thought it was like a Klingon type outfit. It was some weird ass shit.
It could be Klingon meets Egyptian because she had like a dress on, but it was like the sides weren't there. It was just like a front piece. It was kind of like a elongated cock smock,
but made out of metal.
Well, she had the silky part, but then she had a metal piece going down her the side of her thigh.
Yeah, that was weird. Yeah,
a lot of
she had like a chainmail top, like a silk dress.
Yeah,
and then like this leg thing.
Yeah, don't worry, everybody.
She was LARPing. Basically,
she takes it off later.
Yeah,
if that's what you're here for, to hear us describe sex scenes for you, oh boy.
And so they just barge right in, fucking good cop, bad cop immediately. Fucking
good cop, nonchalant cop, more like it.
Basically. So like they're like, hey, where's Deke? I don't know who the fuck Deke is. And like, oh really? And then like a gravedigger just goes over to the closet, opens it up. These some fucking fly ass
Coffin, this jacket would look amazing on you.
And he's like, I can't afford this on a cop's pay.
Oh, my poor cop's pay won't pay for this. And besides, I think these jackets are too small for me. All kinds of fun with the jacket.
And they're like, why do you have all these men's clothes? Like, all right. Yeah, I'm fucking Deke.
Yeah,
all right.
Of course he is.
But I don't know where he is. And then she goes to get a drink. And then Cotton says something to her. I'm not Cotton. Coffin. Coffin says something to her. And
Coffin's like, you better speak up now. I'm not fucking around here. Do you see how pissed I am? He might be 2 weeks away from retirement.
Yeah.
The way he talking.
And she... Well, you should do this for fire, but you shouldn't do this for Coffin. You don't throw water on it. She just throws the drink in his face. He immediately slaps the shit out of her.
So she falls over next to a chair where Gravedigger just happens to be sitting, leg crossed, and he's just like, "Look, man.
Pussy might make you angry.
I don't agree with the methods, but I don't stop the man. So
he does stop it because he slapped her first. He had a fist fucking to the next
one.
Oh
yeah. He definitely sued the situation, but he was just this was the good cop bad cop because it was like, let's just go ahead and get a soft detail out of you, and I can't remember what they get out of her. They get something from her.
No, I don't think they get anything. They're just like
I thought they got some. Oh, you know what it is I wrote the name down because I'm gonna forget it. Jarima.
He shows up.
Yeah, he comes knocking at the door.
He's like this patrolman.
Yep.
Goofy white guy. And he walks in. I thought it was Ken Howard from The White Shadow, which is black enough for me because The White Shadow was this story about a white guy that coached he went to like a black neighborhood and coached a black team.
Okay.
But he's just thinking about that. He's just a goofy ass looking white boy. And he's like, hey man, we've got word. We found the car, the armored car.
Yep, the car crash we just saw. We don't know what happened to anybody in it. So
he's like, the lieutenant wants you guys down there. And they're like, all right, well, whatever you do, you watch this one. She's a stone cold fox.
Stone cold fox.
Keep your eye on her.
Don't let her try any funny business on you because she's going to try funny business on you.
And he's like, oh, I can do that.
Well, gee willikers, guys. I could do that. It's goofy. Goofy. It's a big white guy.
And so they go back to the crash scene.
Yeah, we follow them the crash scene.
Lieutenant's there. I think his name was Addison. Lieutenant Addison, I think it was.
Bryce. No, Captain Bryce.
Captain Bryce and Lieutenant Addison.
Yeah.
Bryce is the racist. Addison, I think he's going to be one of the good ones here.
He's our good one this week.
One of the good ones. Well, we decide one good white person in each movie, and this is the one because he believes in these two guys because they get shit done.
Yeah. He's trying to kind of play it both ways. He loves them, but he also tries to follow the rule book.
'Cause he's probably 2 months away from retirement, and he's want to fuck his pension off.
That might be it. That might be it.
So they're looking over a fucking early riser laid out dead.
Oh, poor early riser.
And Gravedigger, he goes up to the meat wagon, and he's like, he sees some little bit of cotton there.
Yeah.
And he's like, this is some fucking grade A cotton.
Yeah.
This ain't that shit you put in like your fucking pill bottles in the top of it.
Yeah.
This is some sweet-ass Mississippi cotton.
And, of course, Lieutenant's like, I don't care about the cotton. What's going on with this scene? Who's motivated by it? It's probably those militants. It's always those fucking militants.
And then Coffin goes, no, this ain't their style.
No, not at all.
And he's like, well, maybe the Mafia. Because Deke did sell them out.
Deke sold out the Mafia. You can't get away with that kind of shit.
And they're like, well, that's a good lead, maybe.
But Coffin, he immediately starts just digging into Deke. He's like, Deke's up to something. We got to get to the bottom of this because he's fucking doing something. And this is when the captain chimes in.
What is it with you people? And then fucking, as always, Gravedigger, what do you mean, you people?
You people.
And he's like, this guy's trying to do good for you people, and you're just giving him shit. And then Coffin's like, I know this motherfucker. He's full of fucking shit.
And he's he's like, but everybody needs hope, so you got to believe in the man. And Coffin, or
that's exactly where Obama came up with the hope.
That must be it.
Yeah.
Gravedigger comes up with the best rebuttal to him. He's like, oh, okay, so I have the Arc to Africa, slip right here. So how much will you be donating to his cause today?
And he just shuts him down.
Captain,
like, mic drop.
Captain is just like, what do I even do but build the wall?
He just goes, harumph!
Harumph!
Walks off. Do your job.
So GNC they know Early Riser, and they know he's always pairing around with
Low Boy.
Low Boy.
So they're like, we got to find a Low Boy.
Yep.
Well, where does he usually hang out?
Well, we think it's like a club or something. I don't know. We just get a cut of
it was like I think it was a bar.
We get a cut of them walking to
a bar. Well,
before
that, we go back. We're like, what happened to that fucking cotton that we just saw earlier? Well, our boy Uncle Bud found the cotton.
Oh.
And he goes, and just so happens that little old lady was getting robbed earlier, walks by. He's like, excuse me, you big dummy. No. He's like, can you help me? You're a nice Christian woman. She's like, I am a nice Christian woman. That's why I'm going to tell you to fuck off.
Yeah. She turned from 0 to 60 on a dime there.
And then she turns around, and then you can see her dress all cut up from Early Riser shit. Little comic relief there. But we know that Uncle Bud has the cotton right now.
Yeah.
And he's like he lives in like a shack on the pier.
He's living
hand to mouth. So he finds some shit, he sells it. So he's like, I made it big time. I'm gonna make some big money off of this bale of cotton because this is some grade A Mississippi cotton.
He knows it's good cotton.
Yeah, because he picked cotton as a kid.
Cotton. He knows it from experience.
So like you said, go back.
And
you're talking about bad sound. When they're like talking, but they're walking in, they're told their mouth isn't moving at all. It's totally like
right. It's a scene where it's like shot overhead, so you barely even see their mouths, but you can.
No, when they're walking in the door, they're talking to each other, but their mouths aren't even moving.
Gotcha.
It was obviously just added in later.
So we see it's very very noir scene. They got the cool ass hats on. Well, Coffin or Gravedigger has the coolest hat on, but yeah, they just walk straight in, and you're like, oh. Where are they going? They go into the ladies' bathroom. You're like, where the fuck are they going? And then they have like a secret light that they pull on, and then like a door opens, and next thing you know, they're up in like a secret attic room, and they don't knock. I mean, they knock, but they do a knock when they open the door.
They do knock. They knock with their gun.
They knock with their gun.
And usually in a Steven Seagal movie, people will be putting cocaine in like black baggies. No,
it's true. Yeah,
these are some people that are. The black people that are teaching other black people Swahili because they're getting ready to go to fucking Africa on Deke O'Malley's.
I think some of the militants were here and everything.
I don't know what this was.
This was a hodgepodge of everything. Yeah. There's chalkboards, there's like learning, there's Glenn Beck's for some reason. Everything was crazy in this room.
And it gets crazier because as soon as they're about to Coffin's, he's like, I haven't slapped somebody in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
He's about to slap somebody. A kung fu guy, karate guy just jumps out of a fucking room. He goes, wah! And then I think Gravedigger just beats his ass, like puts a gun to his head.
Yeah, and he's like, "What are we doing here?" And the guy's like, "I'm just trying to teach Swahili." And he calls him a curse word in Swahili, and Gravedigger just responds in Swahili. And the guy's like, "Where did you learn Swahili? Where did you learn those dirty Swahili words? Why don't you ask your mother?"
Ooh, mic drop. He's just dropping the mic constantly. That's what Coffin's there for, to pick it up to give it back to him because he's dropping it so much.
Good. That's the one thing that does test Coffin's patience is picking up that mic. He's like, "God damn it, that was good."
That's probably why he's so angry.
That's good.
But they do give him the location of Lowboy, don't they?
Apparently these guys knew Lowboy, which seems weird to me that they would know, but maybe Lowboy.
Everybody, this guy's in your neighborhood, you know.
Yeah, okay.
So, yeah.
We got to check in on Iris, who is, of course, hanging out with Jarima. I had to write that down.
And she keep in mind, guys, she's Stone Cold Fox.
She's Stone Cold Fox.
We learned that.
And she's already wearing like a seductress...
Seductive.
Seductive, chain link mail...
Klingons would get boners from this. This is how hot it is.
This might have even kind of inspired Commando. What's his name from Commando's outfit?
Bennett?
Could be.
And even though that wasn't chainmail he was wearing.
Yeah, that's right. It was like a knit vest.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
Poor man's chainmail.
So weird.
And she's hot, I'll say that much.
Oh my God, yeah.
She is like totally using her feminine wiles on him.
Big time.
Because she needs to get out and let Deke know that, they're looking for him.
Yeah.
So he's like, leave me alone.
Yeah, she's hitting him with some hard F words, and we're not talking about fuck.
Yeah. She's like, are you a homosexual?
Can you see the vagina for the dick trees? No? Okay.
That's my thing.
Okay.
And and he's just like, I can fuck, I'm a man. And she's like, oh, please. She's like, I'm going to take a shower. I'll be there. And she gets totally naked.
Yeah.
And he's like, ding. He's just like sweating, pulling at his collar.
She shuts the door, and he's like peeking in it nonstop, just like, oh,
I'm just making sure you don't get a gun.
I'm making sure there's not too much fog in here, so you know.
And she's like, look, let's fuck, all right? But you're an ugly motherfucker.
Yeah, you're going to put a bag on.
So I'll fuck you, but you got to put a bag on your head.
You got to put a bag on it.
And she goes and grabs a bag. And he has some self-respect. So he's like insulted by it. He's like, give me that bag. I'm not fucking you with a bag on your head. No. And then she's like, she's just laughing. She's just playing this motherfucker.
I mean, she went to grab the scissors, and he was like, stop. That's a weapon. I'm going to murder you right here on the spot. Stand in my ground. Stand in my ground.
Stand in my ground.
Stand in my ground.
But fortunately, Jarima's such a moron, they don't even allow him to have a gun. So he's not going to kill anybody.
Oh, that wasn't a gun?
I don't know. I'm just saying.
I thought it looked like a bagel.
Making a joke. He's
yeah.
an idiot. And so she gets in the shower, and she gets out, and she's putting on like a negligee. And she's just like, look, let's just fuck. What are we doing here? And he's like, well, I can't argue with that. So he gets naked. Did you notice? Like he as soon as he was going to show his dick, he had to turn the lights off.
Oh yeah. This we talk about burlesque later in the movie. This was a beautiful burlesque move. And of course, before he turns the light out, she throws that paper bag at him.
Like, don't forget this because I can't stomach your.
And so
ass.
he puts it on, and then you get the near dong shot.
Well, no, because he's embarrassed because she's used to me with big dick black guys apparently, and so he's just like, I don't have anything here. So he turns the lights off, gets in bed. She immediately bitch slaps him, leaps out, runs out of the apartment. He runs out after her, doesn't know that, the door locks when you go out.
Yep.
So he's totally naked with a bag on his head. And everybody in the fucking apartment building comes out because they're making all this noise.
Yep.
He starts immediately looking at his small dick, laughing and shit. He can't get back in. It's just Jarima, you idiot.
Where is Iris going to? Well, we'll find out in a minute. But first, we got to check in with Deke, who I think I figured this out. This is John, his bodyguard, who died earlier. His wife,
yes.
Mabel.
Wife Mabel.
And so he's helping to make funeral arrangements, and he's recruiting.
But he's
Mabel.
not. He's not really. Yes, he said. Like you said, he's recruiting her. He just uses people.
He does absolutely. And so he's recruiting her to be his eyes and ears and go around town because he needs to lay low for now. He's got the Mafia after him, after all. So he quietly makes a deal with her and is just going to be kind of hanging out here.
Well, yeah, because he's like, I can't leave. They're wrongly accusing me of shit. I need you to be my eyes and ears. Can you do that for me, sister?
Yeah.
And she's just like, you can tell she probably was into him beforehand, so she's just like, yes.
She is really into him, man.
Well, he's got power. He got charisma, dude.
He really does.
He's a 1970s Obama.
Come on, that vampire cape, the Dracula cape.
Yeah, he's like, I will fuck you with my vampire cape on. He's like sold.
Yeah.
So she like goes, I'll check out, see what's going on.
So, we finally got Grave and Coffin. They're finding, what's his name?
Lowboy. He's at like some fucking crack den place. Like this like closet size. It's probably nowadays in New York it probably costs $10,000 a month for this.
It would absolutely, and they'd say it's rustic New York.
Yeah. And it's just piss and shit everywhere. It's like, as always, Coffin disgusted. And they find Lowboy.
The spirits have got him.
He's detoxing, dude, because
he's got chocolate bars everywhere, orange juice.
No, but if he did, he'd be doing all right.
He'd be doing all right.
And so that's probably like Gravedigger's like, look, tell us what's going on. You'll get all the chocolate and all the orange juice you need.
I brought a couple bars and a couple boxes right here.
And he's like, they killed my man. Fucking Easy Rise.
But did you see who did it?
And he's like, they were white men.
How did you know they were white? You said they were wearing outfits and masks.
They ran like Steven Seagal.
Oh! Sensei?
Yeah.
That motherfucker. We told him never to come back to Harlem.
Their arms were flailing everywhere. And then they go, okay, that's a good lead. Here's a candy bar. Shut the fuck up. They take off.
So Grave and Coffin, they start contemplating. Why would Deke sell out the mob?
He's like, that's a death sentence. You don't fuck with the mob.
So we're going to go ahead and join back up with Naked Iris running around the streets.
She got a negligee.
She does have, she grabbed that on her way out.
Very sheer, though.
Oh, very. Everyone's turning their heads. And she goes to the Apollo. This is where our big climax is going to be later on. But for now, she's just heading in here because she knows everybody here. And
I think because Mabel goes to the church, Deke's church, and she spots the white guys hanging out in the front. Or is it? No, I think Iris does. Iris goes to the church first. She sees that with a white guy, and then she goes to the Apollo. Because she figured Deke would be there first,
Interesting.
So you see this white guy he's dressed like a Black Panther. He's got the black leather jacket with a black beret on.
That's right. That was Calhoun. Yeah.
We don't know that now. We don't
know that.
We just see some white guys.
It's
a couple white guys.
Very suspicious.
And so she's like, oh, fuck.
Okay.
So she shows up at the Apollo Theater.
Yeah.
Because she needs some clothes. Because she's half damn naked.
Yeah.
And she bumps into our friend Billy, who's a burlesque dancer.
Yep.
And Barry, who's Deke's like right-hand man, who I want to point out played Sweet Daddy on Good Times.
Very good.
Who was the pimp who ran like the neighborhood that the Evans lived in. But she's just like, burlesque. It's just not black enough for me. I need something that represents my people. Not this feathers and all this glitter and shit. And he's like, baby, you'll figure it out. Don't worry about it. And Iris shows up. She's like, girl, I need a dress. And she's like, all right. She's like, what you been up to? And I think she fills her in on some shit.
Yeah, it's just some shit.
And like Barry's like eavesdropping. He's hearing some shit.
Yeah, that is exactly what Barry would be doing. He's trying to get more info. But we're going to go ahead and check back in. We talked about how Barry's Deke's main guy. So what's Deke been up to with Mabel?
Well, Deke's like,
he just got out of a steamy
I got to seal the deal. So he makes sure to take his shirt off. He knows Mabel's coming back.
He pretended to take a shower. He's got all the steam billowing out, and he's got his shirt off.
And she's like, oh, my Lord, the vapors.
The very tasteful amount of peck jelly applied.
Right, tastefully done.
Just the right amount.
And she's like, please, put on my husband's robes. I can't look at your sexy body.
Oh, my God.
And he's like, whatever you say, sister. And she's like, I went over to your church. There were some white guys hanging out. They say they're offering a reward for a bale of cotton. You know anything about that?
Bale of cotton? In Harlem? Well,
yeah.
He knew about it, but yeah.
And then does Iris show up, right?
Yeah, this is where Iris shows up. Because Mabel makes her move.
Yeah, she's like, now or never.
Yeah. And Deke is trying to resist it at first, but then he's just like, God, Jesus, what you did to me is wrong. I have to fuck this woman now, and God, I want to. But just know I'm disappointed in you.
He starts making out with her. Just that he's about to lay the dick. Fucking Iris barges in. I don't know how she knew she'd be at Mabel's, but she knew.
I don't know how everybody knows how to do the secret knock where you knock once as you're opening the door and just in.
And she's like, what the fuck? He's like, it's not what it looks like. And then doesn't he like fuck over Iris? Like, I don't know who this woman is. He does some kind of shit like that. But he's pissed off. Iris is furious. She's a hothead, guys.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, I'm going to kill you, motherfucker. I'm going to kill this bitch, too. And then she's like, who you calling bitch? And the women start fighting and fucking.
Oh, shit. I thought it was more like one of those stage chair moves where it's like they go to hit the tag part. You know, they go to hit the rival, and then the rival steps out of the way and they hit the tag partner.
It might have been that because Iris will cut a bitch. And if she don't have a knife, she'll grab the first thing available.
Yeah.
And she grabs, there's a model of Black Beauty, the ship they're going to use for Africa.
What would you say that was made of? It's either plutonium or titanium.
Adamantium? I don't know.
Adamantium.
And she grabs it. You might be right. I don't remember. She might have been swinging for Deke, but she hits Mabel in the head.
Right across the head.
And fucking then you think it was Coffin possessed Deke. He immediately punches the shit out of fucking Iris, knocks her out, and then our boys Gravedigger and Coffin are pounding on the door. We hear, so we don't know it's them, but spoiler alert, it's them. You just hear some pounding on the door. So Deke hightails it out the fucking fire escape. Yeah. Takes off.
So we join in with Dig, and somehow time has lapsed or something, but he is waiting at a car, and it just happens to be waiting for...
Well, they need to talk to the Mafia.
Yes.
So they know that the Uncle Tom black guy from Harlem, who's allowed to run the Harlem crime scene for Mafia, is Casper Brown.
Okay, so they're waiting at Casper Brown's car.
Yeah.
And they, of course, hit him with the line, "Take me to your white boss man." And he's trying to play it cool, like, I don't know what you're talking about. Why don't we take these ladies for a good time? He's like, you might want to let your ladies trot for a little while, and we're going to drive over to your white boss man. They get their way because... Well, Dig always gets his way. Wait,
right.
This was Dig.
Yeah.
And so...
Because Cotton, as luck would have it, was at... I guess this is a Chinese restaurant where I guess the Mafia, runs their shit through. So we see... I
loved this touch, though. It's always... The Mafia's always in an Italian restaurant. They have them hanging out in, Not
only is he in a Chinese restaurant, he's like, this Mugu Pan is shit!
Yeah.
Cook me some better. He knows the Chinese food better than the Chinese people.
Absolutely.
Did he have a name? He's just Don. I don't know what.
I didn't catch his name.
We'll just call him the Don.
Call him Don.
And he's a shriveled up little old white guy. And
this kind of shocked me though because they arrived there and Coffin was already waiting. I thought this was some kind of move where they didn't know where he was, but it was a double power play because they fucking knew where he was.
They needed an invitation, I think. I don't know.
Maybe.
And so Digger shows up with Casper. And they're like, look, man, were you behind this whole fucking assassination attempt on Deke? Because we know he fucking stooled on you guys.
Yeah.
And then Don's like, we wanted that to happen.
Yeah.
We gave him information so we could keep some boys in line.
Yeah, we did that to write off, some of our taxes.
We got nothing against Deke. Apparently, all the white people in this movie love Deke, and all the black people are on to how full of shit he is.
Yeah, it's interesting.
They're like, we love Deke. He's great. And so, what does anything else happen in this scene?
I don't think so. It was very weird. This is where we get.
Well, we learn that the Mafia is not involved. That's
exactly.
Basically, what the scene is for.
Exactly. I was gonna say we get the tidbit that the Mafia has a connection. The Mafia was giving them breadcrumbs, basically.
Yeah, because they're like $87,000 is missing. It's like I make that shit in an hour here.
Yeah,
why would I fuck all this shit up and have a race riot start for $87,000?
And by the way, $87,000 is gonna be a number thrown around a lot going forward. Yes. Everything. Exactly. Here's a parking ticket, $87,000.
And so they're like, shit. I guess we're just okay. So we can chalk off the Mafia.
I like how they break away from this scene though, because they've kind of hit a dead end. What do they do with this information that the Mafia gave them? That information, They got to go think for a minute. And what are we gonna do in the interim? Like,
well, we got to know what's going on with that fucking cotton.
wait, what is going on with the cotton?
Well, I'm glad you asked, Griff, because Uncle Bud, he's at Honest Abe Goodman's junk yard. I guess this guy will buy anything.
Anything, man.
And he's like, yo, this is some great Mississippi cotton. He's just hammering home that Mississippi cotton.
He's got all the details. He's like, you could tell this was grown in a third quarter summer wind. Oh my God! And
third
you know
quarter
what?
Summer wind. I don't even know what that means.
The peak temperature never rose above 100, and that's when you get the perfect billowy
and
cotton.
Honest Abe's like, what do I know about cotton? I'm a Jewish stereotype. I'll give you $25. You big dummy.
It was like cents on the pound or something.
And he's like, that's worth at least $50.
I ain't going any lower than 30. Well, I ain't going any higher than 20. And then
you're right. He lowballed him. He said $10.
Yeah.
And they agreed on $25.
And then after they both say, I'll go no higher than 20, I'll go no lower than 30, light bulbs go off. And these two, this is so awesome. Like, they respect each other. They were haggling.
Well, you can tell they've had a relationship.
Exactly.
Like, yeah.
They're haggling for the fun of it. Like, it's like they're just having so much fun. It's like a good debate.
There's a mutual respect.
There absolutely is. And so 25, they spit shake on it, and they're like, all right, you dummy, I'm taking your $25 so I get out of here.
So Uncle Bud, he goes back to his little shack he lives on the wharves.
It's the coolest shack. Like, I would love to live here.
It was pretty big for fucking New York. But it's fucking...
Murray, it's essentially on the docks.
So you know some bad shit's going to happen.
There's no way anything good's going to happen here.
Well, you're right, because...
Trouble comes a knocking.
Fucking Calhoun. We learned Calhoun, the guy that was in the front of Deke's church, the black... got the black beret wearing white guy shows up.
Early in my notes, before I knew his name was Calhoun, he just was Gestapo.
Man, that fits. And he's just like, hey, you know anything about this bale of cotton?
Cotton! I don't know anything. Cotton in Harlem? What are you talking about? I got a fucking clue. And Calhoun hits him with a second question that stumps Bud. And I think it was, are you sure? And Bud is rattled by that, so he just darts back into his house and shuts the door.
Right.
And he's got all these exposed windows and everything, so Calhoun's like looking in there like, hey, come out. I see you. He goes back over to the door where Barry emerges.
Barry, Deke's right-hand man shows
What is
up.
Barry doing here?
Well, he's there he's there to run off Calhoun. He's like, I think you need to get to stepping, motherfucker.
Yeah, Calhoun lays down his whole case, and he's like, is that black enough for you? And that scares the fuck out. If a black man said that to me, I'd be terrified too.
Well, it works. He runs off, and then so now is this where Barry finds out about the cotton? I guess Deke had to set all his men out, look for this cotton. I don't know why the money's in cotton to begin with. It just fits the title of the fucking movie. Cotton.
Well, at this point, Barry learns that Bud sold it to Abe.
Yes, that's
so
right.
Barry's got to take that information over to Deke to let him know. We got to go.
Now, did Calhoun find out about this too?
I don't know how Calhoun might have found out about it.
Okay.
Because
maybe they were tailing Deke. I don't know.
Everybody's tailing everybody because they're that obvious about their intentions.
So Deke goes back to the pool hall where Deke runs his business basically.
Don't worry, Seagal's not in this movie, so there's no action here. there's no broken
no
sticks.
hot dog abuse, none of that shit.
No hot dog abuse.
Deke just shows up in his African robes and yo man, Deke, we thought you were dead. And he's like, no man, I was too black enough for death.
There you go.
And they're like, hey, I found out where that cotton is.
Abe.
Uncle Bud sold it for Honest Abe.
Honest Abe Goodman's.
And they're like, shit, good. We'll get it tonight.
So we wait for the night to fall. We already have Gravedigger and Coffin in position at the junkyard. They're up on some kind of balcony. Actually, Coffin's on the ground.
Right.
He's getting ready to get in position, and
because he likes to kill a motherfucker with his hand. He wants to strangle a motherfucker.
Well, he always says, "Wait till you see the white in the rabbit's asshole, and then shoot him there." Something like that.
Okay.
That might have not been perfect.
I don't know.
You seem disappointed, so I don't think it was right.
I am. I want to slap you like Coffin. And so but as always, fucking Jedi Master at Gravedigger. He's takes the high ground so he can just see like a chest board.
Got to have the high ground for that.
He sees Deke's crew show up.
Yup. And he's like, "Oh, Pastor, what are you doing here?" He's talking to himself, of course.
Right.
He's still zinging. No one else is around. He's still zinging him. It's like Dracula has arrived.
And then our boy Coffin, he's positioning himself to nab Deke, and then white guys show up. Calhoun and his boys.
In their full-on disguise.
Right. And he's like, what's going on here? And he's just like, fuck it, I'm going to set it all off. He had to have a flare gun for some reason.
Well, yeah, he has a flare gun, and before he loads it up, then he says, white shit's about to hit the black fan.
And he loves it because he loves to see fucking Coffin unleashed.
I think that's what it has to be because he's not in fear of Coffin's life. It's that horrible, overemphasized moment of the Watchmen movie. You're not out there. You're in here with me or whatever.
Yeah, you're not locked up with. I'm not locked up with you. You're locked up with me.
Yeah.
And so he lights off a flare, and then all guns are blazing. Everyone's just shooting left. Fucking. Coffin's ecstatic. He's where he was born to be. He's just firing in all directions.
Dude is doing barrel rolls. He's fucking shooting people. He grabs another gun. He's like, oh my God, double firepower.
And fucking Coffin's like, I got to get on this too. So he starts shooting a flare gun at shit, blowing shit up. There's like a barrel full of gasoline he blows up.
So what we get to is we have a moment where Coffin turns a corner and he has Deke red-handed. And he's like, Pastor, what are you doing here at this hour? And you think, good, we got him. We're taking him downtown. No, because Calhoun throws a barrel he's got a gun ready.
Yeah.
And
Donkey Kong would have thrown a barrel.
Yeah, Gravedigger does throw a barrel at Calhoun, which makes him misfire. Okay. And that spooks everybody, so Deke gets away. Right. He does a cheap little chop. He does a Ric Flair chop across the Coffin chest.
And then runs away.
Yeah.
And so the White Fox and the Black Fox got away.
The White Fox and the Black Fox
to use a metaphor. And then we get the cops are all there, captain's there,
next
lieutenant's
morning
there.
Yeah.
I think it was
you think it was still
I think it was still night. Yeah, because
it might have still been night.
Because they bump into Deke again.
Yeah. Oh, you're right. It absolutely was. It's like an hour later.
Yeah, so Abe Goodman's there because it's his junkyard. And he's just like, what? All of this for a bale of cotton? I don't have the cotton. I sold that. Fucking Uncle Bud came back and said, I wanted it back.
Wait a
minute.
minute.
Gave me $50 for it.
He came and sold it to you for $25. Then he came back and bought it from you for $50.
I don't know these people.
What do you mean, these people?
And but he's just like, they're like, that's interesting. I'm lost, so I'm killing because Deke shows up somehow with the cops around him.
He has dressed himself back up though,
and he's like, I don't know nothing about these white guys. How do you know they were white?
How
they were
are
wearing
you
masks
here right now?
They were wearing masks. What are you? He's like, look over there. And then they're like, we ain't gonna fool for that second time, motherfucker. We're bringing you in.
Yeah.
And like Captain's like, he's an upstanding citizen. We shouldn't bring him in. Captain, we know these people. We know what he's capable of. He is black enough for us. We know. Bring him in. Give us 24 hours. All we need. We'll crack this motherfucker. So he relents. I think Lieutenant intercedes and goes, look, Captain, these guys get results.
Yeah.
They'll beat the shit out of him, and we'll get a confession. Whether he did or not, who cares? We'll get a confession.
We will get an answer.
And the captain's like, I like the sound of that.
So we get the interrogation room scene. They don't do the classic Walker Texas Ranger, but they put the chair on. Do you want to go to jail for this long or this long? They just let Coffin do his thing, which is punching. And Deke's yelling about police abuse and everything, and, well, he's not wrong, but I don't know. Deke's suspicious, so maybe intense interrogations.
But
okay.
He's not breaking. He's like, they found like a lighter he had that was at the scene of the crime. They're like, why was this here? I don't know nothing about that.
They didn't bring that out yet. Because it's not until they bring in Iris. And
Yes.
Iris is like, that motherfucker killed Mabel with a boat.
But I don't think she got killed. She's in the hospital.
I didn't know what it was.
She's
but
in the hospital, but she might die.
She completely
And
puts
this
it
is
on.
this, so this is where we learned the knocking at the door was Coffin and Gravedigger at the apartment. So they busted Iris, and she's ready to flip. She's like, fuck this motherfucker, this two-timing motherfucker. He's like, baby, I wasn't doing nothing. I was giving her a back rub. That was all. And she's like, fuck you. You fucking hit that, but she's going to die. It's going to be on you. He's like, I don't know what the fuck she's talking about. And she's like, oh, really? Well, we got the weapon right here.
Yeah.
And he's like, fucking fingerprint it. My fingerprints are on there. I didn't do shit. And they're like, damn, you got us. Iris's fucking fingerprints are on here.
So they leave, and they're just like, we got to hold them for 24. It's all we need. Just got to have another 24.
Shocked. This is the first time a white man's fighting for a black man's rights. He's like, we can't do that.
Yeah.
Captain is all dead. I was almost thinking, is the captain in on this shit?
This is still like overnight, though, so the captain doesn't even know about it. So Deke gets held in a cell, and we get the morning scene where we have G&C find out about Gravedigger and Coffin find out about Bud, and he's missing.
Go to his shack.
So they go to his shack. Yeah.
You see there's some blood. Everything's fucking all tore up, but the guy's living in filth. This could have been this is normal every day.
Yeah.
But there's blood.
And Coffin finds, of course, the slip for, the golden ticket to Africa.
And like Abe Goodman's like, why would anybody do this for Uncle Bud? Everybody loves Uncle Bud.
Yeah.
And they're like, I don't know. This doesn't look good.
So this is where we start to get back at the station.
Next day.
Yeah. Was it the next day?
Yeah, it was the next day. It was in the morning.
Yeah. I thought we were already in the morning.
Yeah. Maybe. I don't know.
Time.
And so, So
we have a whole congregation. They're walking the streets.
A procession of his congregation.
Yeah.
They're like marching in the streets. And people are like kind of joining as they walk by. There's some crackheads that just want to steal some shit from these little old ladies. And then they're like, free Deke. And like the captain, lieutenant, like, holy shit, they're going to start rioting.
Yeah. This is how racist, the Captain Bryce is. He sees them politely just saying free Deke. They've got signs in their hands, and he's like, those look like guns to me. I better put on my SWAT gear, get my Panzerfaust out.
Okay. And, but not only does his congregation show up, some people are pissed off that they think they got ripped off start showing up.
That's where things get interesting.
And then a guy with chicken shows up for some reason. It was weird. It was a very eccentric grab. And then some cowboys show up.
What was with the cowboys?
I have no idea. Some white guys just show up.
And then the militants show up.
Everybody's at the fucking precinct.
God damn.
There is hell up in Harlem.
So.
And they're like, these are your people. Talk to them. Gravedigger and Coffin Ned. So like, all right, we'll calm it down. They're used to this shit. They're used to doing all the work.
I think it was Coffin hits him with the most inspiring speech. And Coffin is usually just spitting out teeth, blood, or chewing tobacco. So he doesn't really do it,
He's a man of few words.
Gravedigger does the talking.
Right.
So Coffin actually hits him with a couple lines here.
We may have broken some heads, but we have never broken a promise. Go home. And they know that's the truth. They know these guys never lie.
Yeah. Everybody knows the name Coffin and Gravedigger, and they know they're the most truthful people.
They might, beat the shit out of you, but you're usually guilty when they do it.
You're probably guilty.
So
we get all kinds of infighting happening, though.
Well, these white guys, they're just trying to stir up some shit. They're working for Calhoun, I'm assuming.
They have to be.
And they're like, free Deke. They're like, fuck you, white boy. We want our money. And the fucking captain, they have like some metal shutters. They just close up the windows. They're like hiding behind there. And then they're like, fuck. Gravedigger's like, I just had to have some firecrackers in my pocket. How about this? Will probably calm people down.
Yeah.
So he just lights some firecrackers and throws it in a crowd.
Oh, we also have to mention they promised to get the $87,000
back.
Said,
well, yeah, he said.
Yeah.
Broke his head. We've never broken a promise.
Yeah, that's part of the promise. We did.
Right.
But yeah, so they're trying to now interrupt the fighting without fighting themselves.
We need to calm this down. Throw some firecrackers into the...
Yeah, Gravedigger throws out the firecrackers, and then Coffin's like, well, I got to run up that shit. So it goes over to the chicken man, who doesn't even just have chickens. There's some geese in there, and he's just grabbing all of them and throwing them into the melee. And I'm like, what the fuck is going? But the people are picking up the chickens, and they're just like, oh, man.
Animal therapy, dude. They can just, your heart rate goes down. You pet an animal.
That
Genius, Coffin. Genius.
You see, he does the Ansi Seagal thing here, though. He goes up to the man who owned the chickens. He pays him handsomely.
Yes. And then they go back in, and the fucking captain immediately starts chewing these guys out. You're off the fucking case. You're in too deep. And they're like, we're the only people who know what's going on. I don't give a shit. We want your gun and badge.
Yeah, he is reluctant to hold Deke for another 24 hours because for some reason he loves Deke, the captain that is. He's all about corruption. So he's like, let's let the corrupt go.
Well, the lawyer shows up. Deke's lawyer shows up.
This is even before the lawyer shows up, though. He's already ready to cave before the law even steps on his neck. The captain is just like, nope, get the fuck out of here.
Captain probably has some like prostitutes peeing on him videos.
Probably.
Floating around.
I think a lot of this was because of the $87,000 promise. He points that out, but still, he has a personal issue.
He's like, that's on you, motherfuckers. Okay, yeah. We're washing our hands of this shit.
Yeah. So you're off the case. That's it, guys.
And while that's going on, Gravedigger's just loading his gun for some reason.
Yeah.
And it's like, why do you always got to be playing with that thing?
Well, you make me a little nervous, sir.
No, he's like, I've always been a little insecure.
Insecure, that's what it was. God, I love this movie.
And so the lawyer shows up for Deke, and he uses his magic, Jeffrey Feiger.
Well, he says, I have word from the governor. We need to release this man right now.
Wow, it's that high up.
It's that high. It was.
And Deke's just playing to the crowd. He's got his little church ladies. They brought him some chicken and some pancakes.
They let him all in, so, yep.
And he's like, you know what? I'm feeling generous. Give some of that sweet lady over there. Iris is just fucking death stare.
Oh,
on
my
him.
God.
She didn't see through this shit. And he's just like, hey, here's my lawyer. Time to go.
Yep.
Iris, nice knowing you.
Dershowitz, thanks for arriving.
That was actually how they released him. They said this is in the nation's good that Deke be released.
We need the Deke to be I'm so bad at this. Anyways,
then drop it.
So we ruined that. So Deke, he's free, man.
Barry and the crew, they're like, yo, man. Oh, no, another faction of black guys wearing red fezzes show up.
Well, yeah, he walks out, and he's smelling that
He has this
air.
fucking cape back on.
They put the cape back around him when he walks out. I think the lawyer, he threw that on there. He's like, I'll take you to Epstein Island if you want to go. And he's like, no, I got other business to attend to. And sure enough, these men with fezzes come out, and they're like, we got some information for you. He's like, I don't know you gentlemen, so I'm not really interested in your information. They pull out a nice little wad of cotton, and they're like, I am interested in what you gentlemen have to say.
So our boys G&C, they're stymied. They don't know what to do. And then, as always, Gravedigger's got the idea. Is like, you know what could really fix this? A stone cold fox. And we know what that means. That means Iris. So he's like, we got to get her out somehow. We got fucking Jarima. He's guarding the fucking the prison cells.
Yeah.
So what do we do?
How do we pull one over on old Jarima?
And like, I got an idea. Let's dress her up like a little old lady, and then let her out and make it look like she just was one part of the congregation.
Yep.
And normally that wouldn't work on a person with average intelligence, but Jarima, we've learned, is an idiot. So it works perfectly. Like Iris is like, get away from me, you go cracker. And he's like, hey lady, get out of here. What are you doing here?
What's wrong with your people? Of course, Gravedigger's sitting there loading his gun, just playing with it again, and he's just like, my people?
No, he doesn't do it that way. He does it like, it's my people.
He does, yeah.
You know,
right.
he's like, my people. That's what these crazy black folk. I don't know. And he just shrugs and walks off.
Wah, 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 wah. So we got Calhoun. We got Deke. They're working together, apparently.
Well, we don't know that. What we do know is Iris knows where fucking...
That's right.
Yeah, I don't know how she knows, but she knows.
Well, she knows all about Deke's hideouts and everything.
Yes, but I don't know how she would know that Deke would be.
Oh,
here.
that fact no. I mean, she already tried to go to that spot earlier, but Calhoun was there.
Well, yeah, and you know why?
So that's her natural
because there's
reaction.
something she's looking for. Remember that Deke has, which we'll get into in a minute.
Okay.
In a package in his pocket. So I think she's going for that because she goes to the church that Deke has, and some fucking James Bond shit going on. She just turns the pulpit, and then a door opens up in the stage, and she sneaks down there. Our boys are just watching it.
Yeah.
They know what's going on. She goes in there. There's a door you knock on 2 spots.
There's a pressure points that you push in.
There's some Indiana Jones shit going on.
It
There was
really
some
is.
spears shooting through the
Boulder
hallway
behind them. Yeah.
But she eludes all of that. And she walks in and she sees fucking Deke handcuffed to a chair, and she's ready to just kick him in the face. But our boy Calhoun's hiding behind the doorway, grabs her. They tie her up. Like, what do you know about this shit? There's this pulling at straws. They don't know where the fucking the cotton is. So she's like, look, I know exactly where this fucking cotton thing is.
Oh yeah. Well, they're God, what words to use here? It's interesting because we start to kind of learn that Calhoun and Deke were working together, but then things started going kind of awry because the Calhoun's men showed up.
Yeah.
And they were shooting at him, and they were shooting in the wrong direction or something, but Deke had the wrong people there, so it was like a total miscommunication.
Yeah, well, what we learn is Calhoun and Deke were in prison together, and this is where they met.
Okay.
And they came up with this whole plot.
This is a surprise to me. I did
Calhoun had nothing to do with the DA earlier in the movie, the beginning with the DA.
Yeah.
That was all Deke's plan, because he was going to fuck over Calhoun.
Okay.
So, but Calhoun was going to fuck over Deke, because I guess they were going to fake the assassination on Deke. Okay.
They're both double
So he knew nothing about the whole DA thing. He thought they were going to come and they were going to rob the fucking armor truck, and then they were going to split the cash. And Deke's like, baby, I was just covering myself if you didn't show up in time. He's a fucking liar.
Yeah.
And so Calhoun's pissed off, and then Iris is like, I know where that fucking cotton is.
Yeah.
And just shoot that motherfucker in the face, and I'll tell you.
Yeah, you shoot Deke in the brain right now, and I'll tell you
and this
exactly
makes
where
no
it
sense.
is.
Calhoun's like, I want you to shoot him. Why the fuck? What? But he gets his rocks off on seeing women shoot people in the head.
That might be it.
So they untie, they kind of undo her, and then they hear some noise coming from outside. It's our boys, Gravedigger.
Yeah, they're up in the church above.
And then we see, they're hiding behind some pews, and we see that the black guys with the red fezzes are all tied up, the Calhoun's boys.
Yeah.
So Calhoun comes out, shoot out, fucking Coffin can't stop himself. He's got to see somebody's got to shoot at him.
Yeah. And not even if he has a clear sight of him. He just knew he was there and started shooting everywhere.
Do you think Gravedigger, he just loves a flare gun? Because he has a flare gun again.
I know. He fucking
Or
loves
what
that
does
gun.
he have? He has a gun that just shoots fucking fire.
I love it.
Because Calhoun runs back into the secret room. Get the
Before he gets a chance to run into the
Oh,
secret
it's
room, Gravedigger shoots it with his flare gun to light it all on fire, but Calhoun's like, I got nowhere else to go. I'm going through it.
So he runs in there. While that's all going on, Deke's like, baby, release me.
Yeah.
Because she's got free, and she grabs a bottle and just breaks it. And
she's got it to his neck. She's ready to
And he's
fucking
like,
go.
baby, I got that little package you wanted. I'm not talking about my dick now.
I thought he was talking about his dick.
And I think they're trying to make you think that because they don't show it. And then
We
Calhoun runs back, closes that fucking door with the pressure points. Our boys drop the fucking flare gun. Gravedigger's got a shotgun now.
Yeah.
And he shoots the door out.
They're expecting to find a handle on the other side, but there ain't no handle.
So they got to shoot it again, and there's a little button you push.
Yeah, just a little lever.
Open it up. All in there is Iris, and she's got this big-ass diamond ring on her hand. She's just staring at it, smiling like,
Wait, where did they go? We know they came here. Not saying no. I ain't telling you nothing, coppers.
She's just so spellbound by that fucking ring.
Yeah.
And then he's like, Gravedigger, always practical. He's like, let me just see. And he checks, and there's another secret door So they go.
He does the classic leans on it by chance, opens up.
And he goes, he looks at Coffin, is that black enough for you? And they smile and walk through that secret door.
So we're just going to go ahead and cut and go wherever now, which is apparently the Apollo.
It's showtime.
Yeah,
at the Apollo tonight.
Billy's performance.
Yeah, this is where we want to bring back people. This movie was written and directed by a black man because this is where the fucking movie gets weird, and this shit would never, ever be in a movie made today.
Yeah.
Because we learned earlier, Billy was trying to do a burlesque act that reflected her people in their struggle. So the best way to do that, we also see the bale of cotton is right on the stage at the Apollo. So Billy,
they're all still looking for where the bale of cotton ended up.
Yes,
and it's at the Apollo.
So Billy is dressed like a mammy, like an Aunt Jemima mammy from a plantation.
Yes.
And she's doing a striptease dressed like that.
Yes. And kind of like rolling over. She's Parsivalting over the cotton bale.
Strips down to she's got like bra and panties with cotton on it.
Yep, just little cotton balls.
And and the cotton comes to Harlem's playing in the background.
We see Deke, he's in the audience, and then we got Calhoun backstage, but
this is where it gets even weirder. Calhoun comes up with a bright idea. I guess I need to blend in. So he has the worst black face I've ever seen, looking like Al Jolson.
So, no, just look at Trump's orange face, how it horribly does not match the rest of him. That's the level of blackface.
And it looks just like that picture that they've been showing forever, the past week, where you can see the white around it.
Exactly.
And he's wearing an Afro wig. Oh, it's so what?
The best part is when Deke reveals him and everyone's like, gasp!
Well, not only... Well, yeah, we're kind of getting ahead of ourselves.
We are, but still, I had to say that because it fits there. So we got Deke moving in. We got Calhoun backstage in blackface. And I believe Iris was also in the crowd.
Yeah, she's there.
So the crowd, they're loving this crazy. They came here to see a children's choir. And
no, it's a variety show.
It's a variety show?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's ages
so
3
we see strippers and then children singing later on. Because you've been sinning so much watching Billy dance, you need some God after that shit.
God damn, do I ever?
And she's twerking, she's working, she is. You know what? I thought slavery wasn't that bad after watching that. I was like, doesn't look that bad to me. So it worked, Billy.
Wait, did you say this made the Super Bowl look like it wasn't too offensive?
Yes, this God, please, the fucking Super Bowl shit. Yeah. So everyone's wanting to get at that cotton, and Deke is like, I got the perfect distraction. I'm just gonna call out fucking Calhoun. So he's like, hey everybody, look at this, and then perfect Scooby-Doo moment. We want to point out he's wearing makeup. Okay, and then Deke rips the makeup like a mask. He just rips it off.
That was so weird.
And then, like you said, the audience like, what? That you ripped off that black man's skin. And they're like, no, he's a white man in blackface. Oh, fuck that guy. And so he's ready to just throw. He's like, and he stole your money.
Well, yeah, he knows that some people are upset at him because obviously when they came to the police station, people were like, where's our money?
Right. So
he's like, this is the man, the white man that stole your money. And he throws him out to the crowd.
And they're ready to rip him to pieces.
Well, it just so happens that the militants are there for a nice burlesque choir show. So they're like, fuck, yes. They get in there. They start beating the fuck out of Calhoun.
Just before he's plummeled to death, we hear a gunshot. And we know if someone's shooting a gun in a crowd, it's Coffin.
It's got to be Coffin.
So
it's got to be.
Great. They're like, we'll take care of this.
Oh, my God.
So they grab him, handcuff him, tie him to some scenery, and hang him, lynch him, basically.
Yeah.
They just hang him that's the last we ever see of Calhoun. He could still be there for all we know.
I love it because they have that much power over everybody. They're just like, come on, guys. He's ours.
Because, you can trust these guys.
Exactly. So, yeah.
They've never broken a promise, Griff.
They never have.
So Gravedigger's like, yo, take that fucking bale of hay, put it backstage. That's evidence.
Yep.
So Jarima, I think, puts it backstage.
So we got Deke backstage now. So we got Gravedigger up front on the stage, and then we got Deke. He's backstage now, and he followed the con because of course he did, because he needs to get the money out of it. So he gets that little hook they use to grab onto things, and he's going through the con. He's trying to find the money. All of a sudden, behind it, they have that classic coat rack where you can clearly see someone's behind it, but Coffin's back there, and he's got a gun peering out, and then he just knocks it over. Surprise! I'm here now.
And I love that move. He's like, look, man, we can tie this up 50-50, man. We don't have to fight. And then Coffin, shockingly, usually this is where he shoots a guy. No, he puts the gun in his holster and is like, I'm going to beat the shit out of your fucking ass. And he commences to pummel the shit out of
That
Deke.
makes total sense for Coffin.
Right, because he's like, I have no problem with you ripping off white people. But when you come to Harlem and rip off black people, that fucking pisses me off.
You said, like, no, that he absolutely did just say just that word. Yeah.
And he just beats the holy fuck out of it. While that's going on, the show must go on. This is showbiz, Griff.
Showbiz.
So we have our choir act come out, like 3 little boys and 3 women, and they're singing their hearts out.
Singing their beautiful little
They want
hearts
to win
out
the
to Lord.
competition. It's showtime at the Apollo, Griff.
Oh, my God. Baby Kanye's out there.
Yeah. And
we get the door bust open, and Iris comes in.
that's right, with a gun.
With a gun.
Because she wants that money, too. Because she's like, fuck, at least I'll take the money.
Was she after the money, or was she
I don't
trying
know.
to help out Deke? I don't know.
I don't know, because she hates Deke.
I
think she just wanted the money.
Iris is awesome in this movie because her motivations are so unclear.
Because she's working for herself.
Exactly. And I love it. I love it.
So it distracts Coffin. He's like, I'm the one supposed to be shooting people.
Yeah.
And Deke escapes, makes it back to the stage. He's got black eyes. It's like some of the worst fucking makeup.
The makeup for this was terrible.
It was almost as bad as Calhoun's blackface.
Oh, my God. Almost as bad as, did you hear about this WWE vampire event last Tuesday?
Yes, I did see that.
You saw it.
Yeah.
I watched it live, and I was like,
She bit the back of the girl's neck.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I was trying to be cool about it. I was like, if I were still like 11 or 12 when I was really into the Attitude Era and everything, I probably would have thought that was cool.
Did you get flashbacks to Gangrel, the vampire?
Was it Gangrel?
Yes.
I know Edge and Christian were there too.
He was their minions, yeah.
Okay,
they were his
Gangrel was
minions.
the leader.
Yeah.
Okay. A little bit, yeah. But I was a little like kind of creeped out by that.
But why would you bite the back of someone's
That
neck?
didn't make any sense.
And she obviously had like a blood capsule in her mouth.
Yes.
It was, yeah.
It looked awful.
Yeah, it's awful. Almost as awful, getting back to Deke's makeup. And Deke, he just stumbles out. He's like, fuck, I got to do damage control.
Yeah. Well, he walks across one side of the stage, just thinking he'll just walk by, no big deal, and go to the other side and leave. But G and C, they just walk over. Gravedigger and Coffin. They're just there waiting for him. And he's like, there's no escape.
Goes the other way. There's a cop blocking where he came from. So he's like, fuck, I got to work this crowd.
So he sees little Kanye with a mic, and he just grabs it from him.
I love this little kid because he will not give this mic
He
up.
would not. Oh,
And
my God.
I love how, like, there was like a group. There were 6 of them, and only he had a mic. I thought that was kind of odd, too.
Well, he had the most beautiful voice.
Oh, okay.
The voice of an angel, Murray.
And he wanted the people to hear it. So he's like, and they're like, leave that little kid alone. He's like, he slaps the kid.
He
And he
did.
shows his true colers.
He really
now
did.
he's exposed.
He's showing a lot of true colors here. All the blood and bruises.
His true colors are shining through, as Cyndi Lauper would say.
It's true. Cyndi Lauper said that?
Yes.
It's beautiful.
And while that's going on, Jarima's in back looking through. He's like, Gravedigger told him, he's like, yo, you might get a promotion from this. There's 87 grand there. Find it. So Jarima's just staring at that coffin. Cotton, tomato. And he finds nothing.
Nothing.
He's like, there's no fucking cat. There's no money in here. Go. And what happens? The people just walk out on Deke, right? Nothing happens to him, right?
Nothing happens to him right here because the audience gives up on him, though.
Right.
They all
He loses his power.
He loses his power. Everybody is just like, We used to believe in you. You could have been Marcus Garvey. You could have been Malcolm X. But no, we're done with you. And
that's the worst thing. So that's even worse than getting pummeled by Coffin. So Coffin just leaves him in his shame. And Jarima, like I said, but he can't find he's like, there's no money in here. You guys fucking lied.
Yeah.
And so we're like, the boys are like, oh, fuck, man. We promised these people $87,000. What are we going to do?
Well, let's go to a quick scene break and arrive halfway across town, Little Italy.
No, Little Chinatown.
Little Chinatown, you're right. Excuse me. And, wow, they're going to talk to the Mafia down again.
Yeah, and he's like, why the fuck am I going to give you black people money? What the fuck? Forget about it.
Is that black enough for
Have
you?
you seen Richie?
Have you seen Richie?
And they're like, well, it'd be a shame if, it did get black enough for you in Harlem, and we decided to take over the fucking crime here. And Casper's like, whenever he sees an opportunity, he's like, that does sound
Casper's
interesting.
nervously optimistic.
But he's like, hey, boss, like, I think they're serious. Like, I mean, that'd be nice, but maybe if you just gave up the $87,000, like, you could keep your shit.
They're talking about black capitalism taking over Harlem and getting more black properties in there and more black business owners.
And he's like, I don't fucking like that shit. So, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give you this $87,000 and get the fuck off my back. Get busting my balls here.
And find Richie.
You know what that reminds me?
Find Richie.
We haven't done enough tangents. So I'm going to do one more. I
One
finally, because I was thinking of Italians, I watched The Irishman recently.
You did.
You would hate it.
To be continued, the conclusion of Con Goes to Harlem.
Yes.
This is Murray's Irishman review.
Yes. Because there's two things that irritated me about it.
They didn't use enough Irish Springs.
No. Shut the fuck up. Let me play this. First of all, you would not like it because it was a classic Scorsese. I enjoyed it, but if you don't like Scorsese, so you would not like it.
No, I like him, but I don't love mob movies.
Well, you wouldn't like it because this was a mob movie. This was about Jimmy Hoffa, and this is what brings me to it.
This is a Hoffa thing. Okay.
Pacino plays Hoffa in it.
Okay.
And I'm going to spoil it for you, seriously. De Niro's the guy who allegedly killed Hoffa. That's what it's about.
Okay.
But that's not my gripe. My gripe is, so it's Jimmy Hoffa, which obviously he was from Detroit. We know who Jimmy Hoffa is, okay? Two things bugged me. One, so he's at home. He's getting a call. He's in Michigan. He gets a call, and right next to him, there's a little soda pop can.
Oh, no.
And it's Canada Dry, Griff.
No.
If you're in Michigan, you drink Verner's ginger ale. You do not fucking drink Canada Dry.
You know, that's the kind of shit. That's like when billionaires say they know how poor people should run their lives.
Right. It took me out of the movie. Thankfully, this was like the last hour of the 5 fucking hours
You couldn't do your research? That's a Wikipedia search. Ginger ale, Michigan.
Right. And it's the best ginger ale, too. It's better than Canada Dry.
You know, I have people tell me Canada Dry.
Canada Dry, you can't even taste really ginger to it. I mean, I don't hate Canada Dry, but to me, that's Verner's is ginger ale.
People don't understand, because I had someone tell me, no, ginger ale has got this weird, spicy, dry thing happening. I'm like,
it's ginger.
That's ginger. But then they're like, no, this soda actually has ginger in it. And I'm like, I don't know, but it's so fucking sweet. I can't tell. Verner's gives you that burn, and I love it.
Yes, it does. You do not want to chug a Verner's unless you want your throat to get
I will
burnt
say,
out.
there's another person who says that Verner's, much like Shrinkgate, it is getting weaker. Have you had Verner's recently?
No, I haven't.
Yeah.
I know it's a cure-all. If you were sick, your mom gave you Verner's.
Exactly.
Yeah.
In Michigan, if you are sick, you drink Verner's.
Right. It does settle your stomach.
It does. But I have a friend who's had it recently who swears that it doesn't have that same potency anymore. Because you would open it and the carbonation.
It makes sense because people can't handle it.
Yeah.
It's the same way Altoids got weaker. Like Altoids they have now are way weaker than the ones 30 years ago.
I think, and that's also a stomach cure. So clearly people were bitching out because they can't handle their fucking drugs.
Right. So that irritated me. 2, okay, so if you know anything about Jimmy Hoffa, he was last seen at the Red Fox, a famous restaurant here. So that scene is there in this movie. So I just want to point out, and I don't know why they didn't do this, because the Red Fox, it's not called the Red Fox anymore, but the building still exists in Michigan. if you were going by this, the Red Fox, it's located on Telegraph Road, which is a major fucking road in Michigan.
Major road.
It's like 8-lane road.
People, for some dumb fucking reason, dead serious, there is houses built with their driveway on it. It's a 55-mile-an-hour road?
Yes. At
Which is
most
like
places,
70 or 80 kilometers an hour. It's fast. It's way too fast for coming out of a driveway.
But it's a major thoroughfare.
It's huge.
This one, it's on a 2-lane road, like in the the middle of like this forest, like on a lake and shit.
Of
course. I'm like, you could have just. You didn't even have to film there. You could just use the shot, of the restaurant.
Do an exterior shot and then do an interior.
Right. That's all they had to do.
I don't get it.
Yeah. So, okay, that's just my gripe. Let's get back to.
Wait,
Cotton
we're going to conclude. Cotton comes to.
Yes. Cotton comes to Harlem.
Cotton comes to Harlem. So, I believe we had our boys leaving the Mafia. They worked out a deal, $87,000. They leave cash in hand, $87,000. We don't know this, but we do know that they wind up back at the precinct.
Yeah, they snuck in at night and they filled the cotton bale with the $87,000.
And we've got
exactly $87,000.
Exactly $80,000. And we have a great scene. Captain, Lieutenant, Coffin, and Digger are there, and of course Jarima's there. And he's like, Captain, I don't know why you're having me look through here. I looked through here yesterday. Nothing in here. And he starts pulling out the money.
Yeah, like, what are you, stupid? It's right here. You black bastards did something. I don't know what you did, but I'm going to find out. And then finally, the captain sees the way you're supposed to see it, the way Coffin and Gravedigger. He's like, I think you owe these gentlemen an apology.
You use some very, very racial words towards them, and I'd like you to apologize. God, this felt so much better than all of the Green Book. I hate the Green Book.
And so he goes, I'm sorry, and he stomps out. And then they just look at each other and smile, and they get in the car getting ready for the next adventure. But before they do that,
what happened to the $87,000? What happened to it?
Well, I'm glad you asked that, Griff, because we find out. Because I guess apparently Uncle Bud, he's alive, people.
He is alive,
and he sent a letter to Gravedigger
and a photo.
And it's a photo of him with 3 topless women.
Andy Sedaris picture, clearly.
Andy Sedaris is next to him. They got their arms around each other.
Yeah.
They're in a hot tub. And he's like, hey, you big dummies. I faked my death. I'm here in Africa on a cotton farm. You big dummies. And they go, Uncle Bud. How can you not love Uncle Bud? He caused all this mess, but he's so damn lovable.
I love him.
And I love they did this neat little trick. It's a picture, but it's a live picture.
It's a live picture.
So you see Red Fox grabbing some titties and shit.
And boobies are jiggling around there, yeah.
And then they just go on to the next adventure.
They actually do get another adventure.
Yes, there's a sequel. If you enjoyed this one, the sequel is on YouTube. It's called Come Back Charleston Brown.
Yes. I would highly recommend it.
I didn't think it was as good as this one, but it's worth seeing just so you can see. This movie was filmed 2 years later, and Gravedigger put on like at least 50 pounds. He's like huge in this one.
Seriously.
He's like a food digger or something.
Yeah. Me and Murray have watched plenty of stuff. These Gravedigger and Coffin are really a great duo. This is something you should watch.
I'm not kidding. They need to revive this. Yeah. And like these characters.
Would you be who?
I don't know who.
I was going to say, I don't know.
They would do shit. It would be Rock and Kevin Hart. That's who they would do.
They might do Rock and Kevin Hart. They might do Jaden Smith and...
No. Oh, my God. That would make me want Rock and Kevin Hart. But that would be... We got to get the Rock and Kevin Hart. No.
You know what? I like that you're saying that. I watched that movie the other day when I like every Saturday I do 2+ hours of running straight at the gym. And that movie came on.
Soft brag there.
Hey, guys. Griff here.
You ever see my calves?
I run 12+ miles every Saturday. But that movie came on, and wow. I don't know
what movie are you talking about? They've done 5 movies together.
It was one where Rock was a secret. He was fat, and then he became a secret agent and turned into the Rock.
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking
about. And
Kevin
Hart was the cool kid in high school. I don't know what it's called because all these movies probably have the same name. It's like Secret Agent High School Guy. But yeah, it's fine. It's just action movies today, they don't get it.
They don't. I feel bad because I think The Rock could have been a star in the 80s. I think he
Oh my
has the
God.
charisma. He's the closest thing that I think, seriously, the closest thing we have to Schwarzenegger right now.
I think we asked a very important question of our friend Stuart. I don't know if he's done any of that work yet, but it's out there. We won't go into any more details, but I could see him fitting into that category.
Yeah,
I definitely because actually
he just needs he needs his Terminator. I like The Rock. He's very charismatic.
Exactly. I love him.
But he has not done he needs a Terminator, a movie that really is great and showcases him.
I don't know if he's ever done a movie, maybe like an early Mummy movie where he was like a villain, but he needs a real heel character.
That's where he shined in the wrestling world.
Yeah. I mean, he obviously turned into a huge face, but it's like, the Terminator was huge. Started out as a bad guy,
right?
We don't.
He was the Scorpion
we
King.
don't.
That was his first movie.
I know. That's why I was using that as
which
an example.
had some of the worst CGI I've ever seen. Even for that time, it's bad.
Let the actors shine, people.
Yes.
Like you don't need the CGI fucking The Rock.
No.
He's already ridiculous.
I don't know if it was me, but I don't know if I would see him playing it, but Gravedigger and Wesley Snipes look similar to me. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. But I don't...
Is that black enough for you?
No. What was that? Shut the fuck up.
I have no idea. I just like throwing that line out.
No, but what is black enough for us is our next week's movie.
What is that movie?
Well, here's the thing. We have, I think, 2 more movies in Blaxploitation History Month before it goes away.
This was the 3rd movie. 2 more left.
And I was like, we still haven't done a Fred Williamson movie yet. And
Fred.
But I'm thinking, that's not enough. I mean, for most podcasts, that would be enough. But we're better
If they
than
even
most
recognize
podcasts.
Fred Williamson.
So I'm like, let's add a little Jim Brown to that. And then I'm like, that's still not enough. Throw some Jim Kelly into the mix.
I feel like we did this last year.
We did, Griff, but that's why I'm gonna one-up it and throw in Richard Roundtree, a.k.a. Shaft, into the mix for African-American ass-kicking superstars in One Down, Two to Go, a quasi-sequel to Three the Hard Way in that all the same actors but totally different characters.
Okay.
But it's available on YouTube so if you want to check it out beforehand. I've never seen it. I hope it's good. I hate when we do movies say, it's going to be great, and then we don't like it.
Yep.
But I think it's going to be good because it's got fucking these guys into it.
If not, at least we'll only have an hour episode.
So all I got to say now is, Griff, is it warm enough for you?
I don't know. Is it black enough?
Ain't now, but it's gonna be black enough for me. Ain't now, but it's gonna be black enough to see red when the song is wrong, to see blue when the fear is gone, to see green on the pea green sea of humanity.